You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
Marlene.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America, the podcast that explains what the bloody hell Brits are banging on about.
In every episode, we translate British pop culture for America
And American pop culture for Britain.
Yo,
welcome. I'm Ben.
I'm Frazer.
Frazer Light Razor. You're a real blunt razor today.
It's hot.
Great, should we just do a quick temperature check?
Yeah, we're in real weather danger territory here.
I mean, we really are. There was a warning in the radio the other day that...
The radio,
103 degrees.
What's that in Celsius, please?
Hang on,
For
let me adjust.
For our Celsius sisters.
39 degrees, 40 degrees.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So there was a thing in the radio the other day where they're like, so we're entering a heat wave. So from about 11 a.m., just don't go outside.
Yeah.
Seriously, does anybody care?
I actually, when it was Friday when it was like super hot, I had to close my curtains because my air conditioning couldn't keep up with the sun coming through the window.
Oh, really?
Drew, are you taking the piss?
Speaking of which,
Yes.
currently have the AC turned to a higher temperature, and I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm already burning alive.
Look, we've got a real audio situation today. You've got Eddie the dog here, one of my nemesis, just trotting around, and you need to go put on the AC. So
Yeah.
let's just do both.
Okay, well, except the dog and the air conditioning. Everyone just deal with it.
You're ever so tanned right now, as I told you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually think that I caught the sun when you and me
Oh,
went...
the sun! I've caught it.
Oh! I got the sun when we went to Black's Beach, even though it was overcast that day. I feel like
Shout out to our friend Ronan, who is Irish and has Irish skin. And even though it was cloudy and a very hot day, he was like, do you think we'll need sun lotion today? Do you think we'll need SPF? Yes.
Well, he had to put... It's a naked beach, and he had to put more and more clothes on as the day went, because he was just getting ever so pink.
Still got burnt. Shout out to Ronan. Yeah. So it's very hot.
Does anybody care?
It's this is just a quick side note. We've mentioned it before, but I feel like if I'm saying the words Black's Beach, I really need people to know that's just the name of the beach.
Yeah. So it's been so hot. I've also had issues with my laptop that it keeps on overheating, so I have to turn it off and put it in the fridge. So I've been doing that a lot.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I need to go get that serviced. The thing is, when do you ever have an opportunity in life where you don't need your laptop?
And I can't. The idea of going to an Apple store or one of the licensed retailers is not...
I know.
It's not it.
Yesterday we went to the beach. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, we had a very grand plan yesterday that we were going to get up at a reasonable time and go to the beach. I was going to wake up at 9 a.m. and do a workout class. I watched an entire season of Selling Sunset yesterday and then got into the pool at around 4 o'clock.
Oh, so nice.
It wasn't nice. The pool was actually like warm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
Was it cold at the bottom though?
No.
Oh.
It's the warmest I've ever felt, the pool at my building. It was
Wow.
really not good.
So, I just didn't leave my house yesterday until 5 p.m. and I checked my carbon monoxide alarm twice yesterday because I thought I was being poisoned. I was that sleepy. So,
Pulled a real Nadine.
yeah, I did.
Couldn't remember the word for table.
So I just sang you. I was at Joanne Fabrics earlier, and I think I found a new baby name.
Oh, Baby Chanel.
Baby Chenille. Right, Baby Chenille.
And what was the word for nanny that we came up
Condessa. Right. We've got a new Condessa who's going to look after Baby Chenille.
with? What were you doing at Joanne Fabrics?
So
And it's not Joanne's Fabrics,
No,
is
it's
it?
just
It's
Joanne
Fabrics.
Yeah, it's very
Like
confusing.
Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. I want to cover my bed head of my bed, so I want to get like a nice velvet. But they had a couple of options there, but almost like a sage green velvet. I thought
That's
could be nice.
Oh my god. Do you care? No.
I've been working in the office on the West Side, and so in the day I'm like, well, I'm not going to leave for the whole day and leave my AC on because that's money, right?
Oh, I do that.
But wait, do you pay electricity or is that on your bill? How does that
I
work?
pay electricity, but
Okay.
my other bills are so little because I don't cook.
Drew, it smells of shit.
That's what it is. Actual shit. Do the people not have the fucking poop and scoop rule here?
Have you? This is such like a have you seen online kind of question. But did you see? It's actually a song has come back that I feel like you and me have kind of touched on, and it is Clean Bandit and Zara Larsson's Symphony.
You're telling me this. So
It's
how
like
has it
made
come
it back.
back?
So it's people just started posting these memes of like dolphins. It's all like animated dolphins like jumping out of water, but like with kind of sarcastic quotes on it. It's actually one of those songs that's really not easy to sing.
I mean, what is the tune to that
I
song?
just wanna be part of your family. Like it's not
Yeah.
easy. It's right up there with the ranks of oh my god, I tell this story all the time, but
Tell it again.
you remember my favorite story about that woman in that show tunes bar in London singing Love on Top? That white woman that sang Love on Top.
Do you know this
Baby,
baby?
it's you.
You've got it. You've got it. The rule is with Love on Top, you've really got to start low.
She started low, but it was the whole bar was rooting for her. No one was enjoying it. It technically sounded good, okay, but like it was a struggle.
It's like
Baby, it's you.
it's like Take on Me by Aha. Take on me, take me home. Where we're going? I'll be gone in a day or two.
Oh wow, you
Reaching.
There's some keys happening there.
Any other business?
It's just too hot.
Yeah, it's too hot.
It's too hot. It's the heat. Oh, wow, my AC's blowing a real gale.
It's just some feedback. Did you see that picture that's just come through in our text chain?
Oh my god.
So congratulations. He probably doesn't listen to the show, but
course he doesn't.
Our friend Seamus has won an Emmy this weekend. Talking of LA, we've just been sent a picture of him with our friend's dog Percy. The Emmy and Percy.
He appears to be wearing a football kit, which is
Yeah.
unusual for Seamus,
A
but
football
okay.
kit.
Yeah.
Tom Leonard in London has got in touch and he says, Colin and I think the UK equivalent of Mexico City is Barcelona. Barcelona. Berlin is in a perpetual state of winter, because we said it was Berlin.
Right.
With a hard techno soundtrack accompanied by questionable German food, and more than anything is a hedonistic sex destination. Meanwhile, Barcelona is hot, Spanish, exclamation mark. Lots of digital nomads, good food scene, people are moving there, it dates back to Roman times, so has the ancient city component.
Okay. I got really tripped up on the term digital nomad.
Digital
I have
nomads.
to say, I wasn't really listening to you after you said digital nomad.
Have you- I
I
know
started
you-
thinking about it.
You famously haven't been to Berlin or Scotland, but have you been to Barcelona?
Only flew in and went straight to Sitges. Never actually walked around Barcelona.
Was you in the were you in the same trip as me?
No.
I was about to say, was you in the same trip as me?
I wasn't in the same trip as you. No,
Did
I
you
went.
like Sitges?
I liked it for what I went for. I went for my friend's gay stag do.
Okay, so it had like a
it was-
focus.
yeah, it had a focus. That was about 10 years ago, and yeah, I don't think I would like it now. I think I would like a very different holiday, but I think someone like fell asleep on the beach who was amongst our party and got their phone stolen out of their pocket.
Oh, fun.
I remember that happening.
When I was in Sitges, I struggled at the foam party because the foam got really high and I was wearing flip-flops. But my other thinking is, actually, is the UK equivalent of Mexico City Lisbon? Because I feel like Barcelona's had that moment, whereas everyone's moving to Lisbon now. I don't know.
Oh god, everyone loves talking about going to Europe, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just discovered Santorini. Oh, shut up.
Oh my god, I saw a great article this morning about how lots of the Greek islands are... Well, we already talked before how places like Barcelona, lots of the locals are like protesting against tourists.
Yeah.
And being really mean to tourists and shouting at them, which I adore. But a lot of the Greek islands, they're now putting all these measures in place to stop cruise ships.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
really excited about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all to say, I think the jury's still out. I accept Barcelona as a potential equivalent of Mexico City, but I'm also wondering Lisbon. So if anyone out there could get in touch. If anyone out there has been to Mexico City, Barcelona, and Lisbon, just give us a shout.
Yeah, give Ben a shout, because I tell you what, I don't want to talk about it. Those are 3 places I really don't need to hear anyone's stories about traveling to. Fuck off. We got some feedback directly to me and Michael related to our Will Young episode. So our friend Niall texted me and Michael, aggressive, in a text chain, saying, is the US Will Young not Adam Lambert? And then he did a list. both the most successful / famous homos from the original Idol franchise. Both had public coming out stories a year later, but everyone already knew. Both a bit thespy and have done Broadway / West End. And then final note, both have worn eyeliner.
Because who did we say?
I was with Michael. Michael said, what's he called? Clay Aiken. So that was actually directly at Michael.
Oh, that's good. Good.
And I said that...
Love feedback directly at Michael criticizing him.
Well, you want to hear his response?
Okay.
It's a strong argument, and ultimately I think you're right. I welcome debate, unlike Ben.
What a cunt.
Do you just love that that's going on just all the time behind your back?
Do you remember when we were at the bar on Friday and Michael just showed up? And
Sure did.
And it was so shocking that Teddy screamed.
Yeah, Teddy did like a scream, horror movie scream when he saw Michael.
Yeah.
Like he'd seen Freddy Krueger.
Michael just snuck in, dressed like he'd been at a country club.
Yeah, Michael loves going to the Eagle dressed like he's at a country club. It's very funny.
My fetish is country clubs and showering. So Mike Cannon got in touch, and it was about Will Young. One of my favorite things about Will Young was the time he tweeted saying something along the lines of, "I'm amazed my nudes haven't been leaked. I've sent them to pretty much everyone," and then someone leaked them.
Well, I will say there was a story cut out of the episode that related to that.
Oh, what was that?
We talked about how we knew someone that was dating him, but he told us a detail about Will Young that I cut out of the episode because it was too lewd and felt kind of violating.
Too lewd.
It was just a little too lewd the way it was described. But let's just say it was describing, generous parts of his anatomy.
Got it. Victoria's got in touch, and she says, Delta Goodrem, who is the US equivalent, and is she welcome or not welcome?
She's very welcome, in my eyes. I was a big fan of... What was the first album? Innocent Eyes? Do you remember when you were 7? Oh my god, I love that album.
I like the song that didn't really do well called In This Life, and it sounded like... Remember when Adrena had her own reality show on VH1? It was very much... It sounded like the title music of that kind of show.
I loved that album. No, not me, not I. That was a real...
Poor Me playlist?
Oh, she was a big feature on the Poor Me playlist.
So who do you... I don't know why I'm thinking this, but is the US equivalent... Oh, I once saw Delta Goodrem at Soho House.
Well, bearing in mind she's Australian, so I've also thought of a UK equivalent, and if you think of a US equivalent, then we've got
I was thinking who... I don't know why, but I was thinking Miranda Lambert. Like one of those... kind of country-ish, pop-ish.
Yeah, it feels like she did a lot of kind of ballady pop that maybe veers more into the country territory. Mm-hmm. But I was laughing because, do you remember that Lucy Silvers? Because she released the album and her first song sounded like Born to Try.
Because I was born to try.
And then Lucy Silver's song was, because it's not what you're made of and not what I'm looking for. Remember that song?
Vaguely.
It sounded like a Delta Goodrem song.
Okay. Okay, so it's Lucy Silvers and Miranda Lambert, and she's welcome. I'm just thinking about Sarah Watmore now, but...
Oh, I'm never not thinking about Sarah Watmore.
Is that song on...
No, none of her songs are streaming. You can't get... Because
when I lost you, I lost everything. But still... Did we talk about her in one of our specials?
We definitely have, because we talked about... We were obsessed with the fact that she did that song called Automatic that was a complete rip-off of Play by J-Lo.
Oh, we should do a special, right? We've done forgotten girl groups, we've done forgotten boy bands. What about... forgotten reality pop
Rosie Ribbons?
Rosie Ribbons.
Oh my god.
What?
Her songs are on Apple Music.
When I lost you, I lost everything, but I still want you.
Okay, so that's that settled. We are gonna do a forgotten... What do we call it? Forgotten...
kind of forgotten ladies of the 2000s. I think it's forgotten ladies of the 2000s. And then we could just throw in some just random ladies that were forgotten, I don't know.
June Sarpong,
exactly. Kate Thornton. We did get an invitation on Friday asking why from Andre Sosa, my favorite name for you to read out loud.
Andre Sosa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically was like, why aren't you guys at Sophie Ellis Bextor? And we were, because we were at the Eagle. And we did see someone that had been to Sophie Ellis Bextor, remember?
We saw a couple of people.
Yeah.
We saw two separate groups of people who'd gone to Sophie Ellis Bextor. And they were like, oh, I think I saw you at Sophie.
Yeah.
So
No.
it was a place called the Bellwether. Andre Sosa said it looks like an empty community center. Look at that picture. It's like a school disco. And then later he wrote, it's busier now. I think we missed out some feedback earlier on when we did Pret USA. And he said, very accurate review in the last pod, talking about Pret, but you failed to mention the price of a sandwich. Guess compared to LA prices, it's rather okay, but compared to UK, a bit steep, one could say. Yes, because my $10.75. So let's see what that is. I'm just doing a quick currency. £8.19.
Oof, that's steep for a sandwich.
Because what? That's steep for a sandwich.
I'll tell you something that's steep for a
I'll
sandwich.
tell you something. Yeah, because what, UK listeners, how much does a Pret sandwich cost? Like £6? What do you mean?
I'm just laughing. You just made me laugh hearing you say that.
I think it's like
£6?
£6. I think if we could get that intel. Right, yeah, and that's it. Oh, if you want to get in touch, please, please, please.
Don't move me right.
Go on our
That song-
Instagram, leave us a message. What?
Just talking about how, when you pick up on details in a song, that Sabrina Carpenter song, because it has the noise of a door slamming in it, and now I can't listen to it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I can't. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I'm begging you, don't embarrass me. I can never fit the motherfucker. I can never fit the lyrics into that bit, and I always think I'm doing it wrong.
If you want to get in touch, give us a shout on our Instagram. Please, please, please utilize our voicemail. 612-699-2007 like the year. 612-699-2007 like the year. It's in the show notes. It's also on our Instagram, so they've got no excuse. You need to call the pod. Also, it's getting we're into fall now, into autumn. I'm gonna start naming and shaming people who haven't rated and reviewed us. Okay? Oh, we should probably we'll do this at the end of the episode as well, but we are gonna cover Drag Race UK.
Yeah.
Just so get excited for that.
Meet the Queens coming soon.
Coming soon. Right, should we get into the episode?
Yes.
Okay, the AC is blasting. It's a hot, hot day. Frazer's up with his first topic. You're doing the US.
I am.
The country, the whole country, the United States of America.
Oh, say, can you see? Funny we say that, actually. Me and Teddy watched Whitney Houston singing the Star Spangled Banner yesterday, just
That's
on
nice.
YouTube, and then we also fell into this very bad algorithm where it was a 7-minute long compilation of, it said famous singers trying to sing the note from I Will Always Love You. And it started off with famous people, and then it just veered into like people from like The Voice Singapore. But it was maddening. It literally was, and I, like over and over again, and it would stop, and then it would be like, doom, and I.
Where did you go for dinner last night?
To Bordeaux's. He cooked us dinner.
Oh, okay.
And we watched The Real Housewives of Orange County.
Lovely. What's your topic today? Because I don't know what it is.
Well,
Uh-oh.
I just wanted to really complain about something, so I made my topic about it. I'm talking about the bane of my existence, something I have to go to, once a week. It makes me angry every time I go, and I hate it. I'm talking about Vons supermarket.
Oh, okay.
It's my closest supermarket.
I know.
If you don't count the fact that I actually am closer to Erewhon.
That's like an art installation in comparison.
Vons is my closest supermarket.
Yes.
And as you know, that location of this Vons supermarket is on the corner of Hell and Hades.
I mean, look, we all know that we're hurtling to, I would say, well, people that we know and like and spend time with and our allies know that we're all hurtling towards the end of the earth.
Yes.
And it definitely feels that parking lot in particular are on the fringes of the end of the earth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a flat earther, but if you go too far in that car park, you will fall off.
That's exactly. It's a little bit, like if you really peered through like the cracks of society, what you'll see in between those cracks is the Vons that I go to on Hollywood and
Sons?
Hillhurst. Yes. So it's my local supermarket.
Yeah, been there many times.
I'm going to really get into my main complaint. And that is, at a certain point, I think around 2020, they put every single pharmacy item behind security glass.
Nothing makes me so okay, UK listeners, I don't know if you have this, but like the other day I went to CVS, it's the same. I was buying some Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay? And I got along, it's behind a little plexiglass thing. I had to ring a bell.
Yeah.
Someone comes along to get it out.
Well, they used to have some stuff behind the glass in Vons and then other stuff just like on shelving units by the pharmacy. So I'd always be like, pick up my toothpaste, my mouthwash, aspirin, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, everything pharmacy related is behind it. So even if you want hand fucking soap, you have to get... And the reason I'm so angry at this Vons is that they put everything behind the glass and there's a million buttons that you're meant to press to get someone to come and get stuff out. They're not connected to anything. I know they're not. Because nothing is happening when you press them. You have to flag someone down each and every single time. And every time you do it, that person is
pissed.
very resentful that you're making them open the cabinets. And each fucking cabinet has a different lock on it. So even if you want like 4 things, you have to get them to open 4 separate cabinets. How much money were they losing from people stealing toothpaste? That's what I want to know.
Well, the other thing is, where are we at with baskets in that Vons? Because the Vons near me has about 4 baskets, and they're hidden. So you sometimes go in there and there are no baskets. I'm like, I refuse to get a cart, a trolley, to pick up 5 items. But then it's always too many items to hold in your arms.
Have you been to the Vons in Echo Park? Because if you took the atmosphere of the Vons that I go to, and really shrunk it down so that you feel like claustrophobic, that's the experience of shopping in the Vons in Echo Park. It's
the Vons
hell on earth.
The Vons in Echo Park, though, does have plentiful parking. Never struggle to park
That's
there.
true.
Never quite know which street I should leave that parking lot
No,
onto.
I've driven into like oncoming traffic multiple times there.
But sometimes they used to have a taco truck in the evening called Taco Zone.
Yes, that was great.
Fucking phenomenal. The Molitas. UK listeners, let's just talk about Molitas for a second. You know you've been living in LA for a while when you're like, I want a Molita. Imagine in between a quesadilla and a taco, it's a Molita.
I've never had one.
You've never had a Molita? You
No.
would love it.
Yeah, it sounds
Imagine like a
great.
taco with just a shit ton of cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And they've left it like 2 tacos on top of each other with a shit ton of cheese and amazing.
Oh my god, that sounds great.
Anyway, back to Vons.
So there's also a Starbucks in that Vons.
There
and-
is. But they don't accept points.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And you and me we're really pointing at each other during this topic. I pointed at you like a million times because I'm so angry about this Vons. And if you want to spend 1,000,000 hours getting a coffee, go to that Starbucks in that Vons. There's always a line, and it takes 1,000,000 years because there's like one person working there.
But my policy with that one is you go in, you order your coffee, then you go do your shop, and then you come back and pick it up.
Oh, that's smart. I didn't
Yeah.
think of that. Which leads me to a further rant about the security glass. So I've got so annoyed with it that I've started going further afield and shopping at Albertsons on Hillhurst because they don't have the security glass.
That Albertsons, you go in and it could be any year from 1998 onwards.
It feels
1988.
I think it
onwards.
feels very early 2000s in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
The other day I went to Albertsons. I turned down the pharmacy aisle and I truly almost fell to the floor and started crying because they'd put all of the pharmacy items behind
That's
plexiglass.
nice.
And there was a member of staff there and I went, and he was like, what? And I said, I can't believe all the stuff is behind glass here now and I have to get your help to open it. But I will say Albertsons everyone was much friendlier and there was someone basically there just to open the cabinets the whole time for people.
Yeah.
So fine, don't mind it. Anyway, did you know, I thought you'd like this, the Albertsons supermarket, it's all based in California. There's 8 branches in Nevada, but it's all just in California, so it's not a global chain.
Okay.
Did you know that Vons Supermarket was the official supermarket, the official food supplier of the 1984 Olympic Games?
In LA.
Vons is helping fill the LA 1984 Olympic shopping list. And Vons can help fill your list with great weekly specials like Farmer John ham, shank or butt portion, 79 cents a pound. Table King fresh turkey, 10 to 14 pounds average weight, 69 cents a pound. Easter lilies, 5 blooms in a 6-inch pot, just $3.97. All stores will be closed Easter Sunday. So do what the LA 84 Olympic Committee did. Bring your shopping list to Vons.
Should I get the LA 1984 Olympics logo as a tattoo? I love that star just going.
I would wait and see what happens for the next Olympics, just in case they try and do like a remix of it and
Okay.
it ruins it for you, or
Okay.
there's some kind of like riot that breaks out and you don't want to be reminded of the Olympics in LA.
Okay, fair. We'll see what happens. That was a lovely advert.
Wasn't it a great ad? I liked that it was like a computerized, like, digital list of food, and it had just some, I think it was what's meant to be like healthy food on there, and it was a lot of cottage cheese and peaches. That's very 80s diet food.
I mean,
that is.
with some tin peaches. Cottage cheese, though, is still a thing.
Yeah.
I love the fact that both you and I experienced the same thing the other day. Talking of cottage cheese adjacent, Greek yogurt.
Yes.
Buying full-fat Greek yogurt, eating it, being like, this tastes fucking phenomenal.
I was like, why is this the best thing I've ever tasted?
Yes.
Like, oh, because it's filled with fat and not fat-free bullshit that I've been eating. Anyway, so it was the official supermarket of the 1984 Olympics, which I thought you'd enjoy. I will also tell you a great story of when I first moved here. I was at that Vons, because it's near where podcast nemesis Michael used to live when I lived with him when I first moved here. And I had my one and only celebrity sighting inside that Vons. And it was...
Wait, do you want to play a Guess Who game?
Oh, it's going to be a real...
Too hard? Okay, fine.
No, let's try it, and
Okay.
I can always cut it down.
Male.
No.
Female?
Yes.
Someone we like?
Yes.
Music star?
No.
Actor?
Yes.
Movies?
Yes. I'll give you...
Our age?
No, younger.
Okay.
Much younger. And I'll give you an extra clue. She had, before she was in movies, she was in a very viral clip about Los Angeles.
Oh, she's the Welcome to LA person.
Yes.
Come on, it's LA. What? It's LA. I'm addicted to drugs. We all are. If you don't have an eating disorder, get one, bitch.
I don't remember her name.
Rachel
but...
Sennett.
So what does she
From,
do now?
from Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. She's like a big deal now. She was in Charlie XCX's last... She was in the music video for 365. She's like an it girl kind of actress now, I think.
She's the real talky one in that.
Yeah, she's the one that... Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
They're good friends, the two of them.
Did you ever see Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Would
It's
I
fun.
like it?
I think you would, actually. It's pretty funny.
Because she did the soundtrack to
She's
that.
really good in it. Okay. So
Okay,
put
I'll
that
add
on
it
your
to my
list.
list.
But I was very excited when I saw her. She was kind of shuffling around, looking just how you'd imagine her to look in Von's supermarket with a very attractive man. The two of them were like really shuffling around, kind of like looking at cereal and being annoying, you know?
Good for her.
And I can't remember who I was trying to explain this to, but I do also associate Von's with a very specific feeling that to explain to someone what it's like to move to America. One of the craziest and strangest feelings I've ever had in my life is the first time I just very casually, I'd arrived, I was like, I'm just going to go to the supermarket and buy some stuff. And I walked into that Vons, and you feel like you've gone into an alternate reality where everything looks the same, but nothing is the same.
Yes.
You've gone through like a schism in time, and
Wait.
you're like confused, and there's brands that you recognize, but then...
It's like that bit, I talk about it a lot, but that scene in Labyrinth where Sarah goes into her bedroom,
Yes.
but it turns out it's all made of trash by that trash lady.
The dump lady, exactly. I completely felt like I was in Sarah's dump lady bedroom, just kind of like picking up, just being like, I know this is Colgate toothpaste, and that grounds me in reality, but also it's like Colgate toothpaste with like extra bleach to destroy your teeth.
Do you not think there's something, I'm thinking about just, generic UK supermarket Tesco. Everything's very visually very orderly.
Yes.
And even like I can picture that very bold font with like £2 and everything's very like in order and everything you can sort of your eyes accept what's going on. But like a Vons.
There's also that thing of, it's like a hierarchy of price, isn't it, on shelving? It's like a proven thing where it's like the most expensive things are at the bottom and the cheapest things are at the top.
Oh, really?
But I don't think American supermarkets use that kind of system. They're just
it's all just a bit higgledy-piggledy.
It is higgledy-piggledy, haphazard. I thought you'd like this. They've had Vons has a slogan. You know, much like how Tesco had...
Every little helps.
Every little helps. There's quite a few, but I'm going to read the old ones, and then I think you're really going to get a kick out of the latest one. So its first one was called Vons is the More Store.
I mean, that's just too long.
Vons is value.
That's good.
Delivering our best. Doesn't have a V in it.
Fine.
Ingredients for life, which I think is a little crazy.
That doesn't make sense. That sounds like everything's tinned and like it's long UHT milk.
And then their current slogan from 2015 to present is, it's just better. which is a stone cold goddamn lie.
That's like that vegan restaurant near my chiropractor called Something Vegan.
Something
Vegan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's actually not better. It's actually worse than anywhere else.
What was the V one? Vons' Value? Vons'
Value.
That's good.
That was the mid to late 90s.
That's strong. It's very confusing, Vons, because if you don't have their club card, as it were, everything is way too expensive.
Yes, and I'll tell you, even with that club card,
Yeah.
it's way too expensive.
Well, we've talked about this before, but it turns out that the cheapest supermarket in LA is Trader Joe's.
I can't do it.
Well, your Silver Lake Trader Joe's is very stressful.
I'd rather pay more and not have to have that experience in my life. Fuck Trader Joe's.
The Trader Joe's in South Pass I go to, everyone is always someone there I'd like to have sex with, always, without fail. Everyone's so happy, and the fact that it's smaller, yes, it's stressful, but you can just get round. I don't know, I like it. Okay, well, I think, because we want to work at the UK equivalent, I've already got an idea, and you've touched on it. Safeway.
You think it's Safeway?
I think it feels very Safeway.
Yeah. To me, I get an edge of the Co-op about it.
Don't you dare. No, the Co-op...
No, the Co-op has a lovely message, I know, and a lovely vibe and ethos, but I'll tell you something. The Co-op is always a very stressful shopping experience. And there's always something going wrong at Co-op.
But that's more... Co-op is a bit more Trader Joe's.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Size and scale.
I'll give you that, I guess.
It's not... Is it Asda?
I did think about it being Asda, because Asda's Walmart, it just feels like it's too big a thing.
Now, wait a minute. Morrison's... Because Safeway I don't think exists anymore in the UK. I think it's Morrison's.
Right, but I actually would argue that it still is Safeway. It's as if Safeway never closed.
Because are we saying Tesco is Ralph's?
Yeah, I think Tesco is Ralph's. We've done Gelston's was Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's is hell.
Bristol Farms can be Waitrose.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
the equivalent.
Exactly.
Okay, fine. Okay, great.
So yeah, the UK equivalent of Von's supermarket is fucking Safeway.
You're welcome.
And we're back.
We are.
It's even hotter. My air conditioning has reached a almost fever pitch of we sound like we're on an airplane.
Yeah, it does sound like it's getting louder and louder.
Yeah. I'm also incredibly hot from my rant about the pharmacy section of Von's. So Ben, you do some talking, please. What are you flapping your gums about today?
My UK topic is Naomi Elaine Campbell.
Elaine?
Elaine. How good is that middle name?
Oh my gosh.
Elaine! Naomi Elaine! Naomi Campbell. So she's our gal Nam Cam. She's been in the press this week.
She sure has.
She was at some sort of fashion event. Anna Wintour was going to present her with some sort of award or whatever. Anna Wintour made a joke about Naomi being late, and Naomi came on stage later and referred to Anna Wintour as that other lady.
The other lady, yeah. So good. So dismissive.
Wonderful. And that's our Naomi for you. Now, obviously, we know a lot about her, and there's a lot to be said, but I thought we'd look at some of the lesser-known things about her. So, first off, the fact that her name is Elaine. She was born in Lambeth to Jamaican-born dancer Valerie. Valerie. Just obsessed with that. Of course, her middle name's Elaine with a mum like Val.
Val.
Yeah, she's of black Jamaican and Chinese Jamaican descent.
Yeah.
No wonder she's so fucking gorgeous.
Well, you know who's also of a Chinese Caribbean descent?
Who?
This one.
Chinese Caribbean?
My grandma on my dad's side. My dad's mom is of Chinese Portuguese descent.
And you were bad-mouthing Lisbon earlier. Wow.
That's why I can say what I want.
Wait, have you...
countries.
Have you done the genetic thing?
No.
I think yours would genuinely be interesting, unlike mine.
I know, but it's just such a white person activity.
It really is, isn't it? Oh, maybe I'm just a little bit black.
It's like I've spent my whole life knowing I'm a lot of different things, you know?
She spent her early years in Rome, where her mother worked as a modern dancer.
Oh, that's very Liza Minnelli turns on a lamp.
Modern. And of course, we do know that Nam Cam, she did go to Italia Conti at one stage.
And she grew up in Streatham.
She grew up, yes. Stratham's there somewhere. All to say...
Well, before you skip over her childhood, don't forget that in the 80s, she had a stepbrother for a while.
Oh, she sure did. None other than Richard Blackwood.
1, 2, 3, 4, get with the wicked. Can I get a woo woo? Chicks get it with it. Can I get a what? Fellas, you know. Hubby runs the show. What? Why is that all of those lyrics completely crystal clear in my head? Why?
So Naomi Campbell, we do know that obviously in the 90s she was absolutely in her peak powers. She's still in her peak powers now, but she really came to the fore. One of the original supermodels. The other supermodels, particularly Linda Evangelista, would often say that if they wanted to book them, that they would only agree to being booked if Naomi got included, because she was a black woman in the 90s, often left out. She didn't get her own... she got paid a lot less than the others in general.
Wow.
And it was only in 1999 that she got a cosmetics deal.
Wow.
And she said that that's because in the 90s it was white women with blue eyes that sold things, not her.
It's true.
Meanwhile, so look, she's a major model. Some might call her super. But she did some other bits and pieces over the years.
Are we talking about the wonderfully Indian-themed single that she released?
You mean Love and Tears?
Yeah.
I've got her from 1994. So here we have her performing Love and Tears on Top of the Pops. We just listened to a little bit of Love and Tears performed on Top of the Pops. Can you describe some of the visuals?
Well, first of all, I'll say it was a 4K remaster of a Top of the Pops clip, and I don't need to see it in 4K. I'd like that to be unmastered and sent back to like blur form. It was too real looking. Mm-hmm. It was a heavily Indian themed. It's the only word I can think to describe it.
Yeah.
UK definition of Indian, obviously not Native American. She's wearing a sari and a bindi.
I mean, she looks obviously phenomenal.
She looks fantastic. I would say that song is it's almost like a light puff of air with like a kind of a light puff of air with like just a vague hint of India in it. A little Bhangra hint.
It's like if someone walked past you quietly wearing a sari.
Yes,
and just
exactly.
that light waft of a sari going past you. Yeah, the set does very much look like Adina Monsoon has thrown some rugs and beanbags and lanterns around the place.
Yeah, you're right. It's very the House of Abfab, that set.
She's got a real like 1990s Bobby Brown lip, I would say.
Yeah,
a
lined.
real like juicy brown tone, like just spectacular. That was Love and Tears.
Very low energy.
Can we also talk about the book Swan?
I don't know the book Swan.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, it's a fiction book.
Yeah. So Naomi released a book called Swan, and she didn't write it. She said that she's too busy to write it, so someone ghostwrote it. Let me read the synopsis.
What did they do? They ghostwrote it.
Ghostwrote it. Ghost wrote it. It was written by a ghost.
Set to that song. That's what you hear.
An Indian ghost wrote it. Swan is the world's most successful supermodel, but she doesn't want to live this life forever, even if it means kissing goodbye to a cosmetics contract worth millions. There are 1,000 girls who do anything to get the job, but only 5 have what it takes. While they all know what they want and how to get it, it's a bumpy ride, and someone is trying to make it a whole lot rougher.
Ooh. I'll tell you what, there's some pretty rough reviews on Goodreads for this.
Yeah, I just remember the cover. If you Googled what the cover looks like.
Yeah, I love it. I love the...
beautiful.
It's very, actually, the kind of exactly the font that was used in that show, The Swans, about Truman Capote.
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar.
It's also bringing me... Oh, no, also, wait a minute. What is around that swan's neck? Have you looked?
No.
The swan has, I think it's like a little diamond choker around its neck.
Oh, lovely.
Beautiful.
One of the reviews says, this book is pure unadulterated nonsense, and it's predicated on the assumption that no woman, given the chance, could imagine any higher happiness than to become a supermodel. I don't mind suspending disbelief, and I'm not a militant feminist or anything. This is too much for me.
I'm not burning bras.
I started to feel almost physically ill and stopped reading. Ooh,
wow.
Ouch.
So, now we talked about her single, Love and Tears, but she was also in a few other music videos. Now, she was famously in a music video of with Janet Jackson's brother, but we don't need to mention that. But she was in a music video to another song that I think you might know. So yes, she's in the music video for Macy Gray's Sexual Revolution.
A song which, remember, I sung a million times on our trip to San Francisco.
Did you?
Yes, because it's the opening song of The Sweetest Thing. Cameron Diaz is listening to it as she's like bopping up that hill.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Sexual revolution.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Well, you're not going to like it now. I'm annoyed with you for not watching it back then. You're not going to find it funny on a first watch now in 2024.
Now, she was also in a music video for an FHM song, the girls of FHM doing Do You Think I'm Sexy?
She was in that?
Yeah.
How did they book her for that? Whoa.
Okay, go on YouTube and look for Girls of FHM, Do You Think I'm Sexy? It's from 2004. Someone wrote Superb Memories with Summer 2004.
You want to talk about jump scares? We were looking for Naomi Campbell in a music video, which seemingly was just going to be, you know, the High Street Honeys of FHM
Yeah.
lip syncing to Do You Think I'm Sexy? But first we spotted Liz McClarnon. That was the first shock. Then the hits just kept coming. Jodie Marsh this, Sophie Anderton that, Mylene Klass laying on the floor.
The Liberty X
The Liberty
Girls.
X Girls, the S Club Girls. I mean, it just kept happening. And then what I believe to be a 2-second cameo from Naomi Campbell.
I mean, looking amazing.
But I've never seen a world in which Liz McClarnon gets more airtime than Naomi Campbell.
It was very strange because even if Naomi was there for 15 seconds, you would use more of the
Each
footage.
second,
You
yeah.
would- you would like I
Have
don't
15
know.
separate second clips throughout the video.
Exactly. And she is above that.
I think we need to dedicate a kind of a bonus episode to
FHM.
To FHM. No, simply to that video, just going
video.
through it frame by frame.
What about? Oh, wait a minute, I've got it. What about Lads Mags?
Yes, we
and we
do.
do FHM, Loaded, Sky Magazine,
Zoo.
High Street Honeys,
All right, honey.
Lads Mags. And what was our other thing? Forgotten Y2K. Forgotten Ladies of the
Forgotten
Y2K.
Ladies of the 2000s, I believe it was called.
So yeah, Naomi Campbell. She was in that.
Jesus Christ. There were so many haircuts in that. That one woman with that short, spiky haircut that we saw for 2 seconds, that was a real moment in time, wasn't it?
And of course, where was it shot?
Café de Paris.
Café de
My
Paris.
nemesis.
God, what was I in Café de Paris? What? Oh, for when they brought over Sister Act the musical, they did a
Right.
showcase there.
I've only ever been to Café de Paris, like, against my will.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been like, oh, I had a nice time at Café de Paris.
Were you there for like a work shoot or
I've
something?
done work stuff there, and I've been, like, I got forced there on a night out once, like, literally against my will, being like, I don't want to go here.
Well, when you're like 23 and you have to pay like £25
Yeah,
to
completely.
go to enter Café de Paris for some weird night.
Yeah, and then you're like, you get in and you're like, this is just as bad as every other club that I go to,
Yeah.
where I can get in for free.
Talking of straight culture, how weird is it that right now there are so many straight guys with mustaches and mullets?
Yeah.
It's really disorientating, isn't
I
it?
sent you that picture of Travis Kelce today,
Oh.
and he looks so good. He's got a moustache down. He looks like a sleazy, hot gay guy.
I know. So in 2014, Naomi Campbell did a show called The Face.
Well, this has lived on in infamy, hasn't it? This
Yeah.
show. Yeah, I just remember it was a lot of her screaming at kind of wannabe models and arguing with Coco Rocha.
Yeah, essentially her just saying things like, "You're not on my level."
Yeah.
It's all to say, just,
I mean,
in The Face, she was very, she's good. How is The Face any different to Next Top Model or anything?
It was teams that that was the only way they changed it. Was that it was 3 models who had like teams of their own models. So it was her and like her, Coco Rocha, and someone else. I can't even remember who the other captain were. Erin What's Her Face as well was in it. The one with the
O'Connor?
Erin O'Connor, yeah. So I think they would like it was America's Next Top Model, but with three kind of coaches.
Got it.
And they competed, like they had their teams to compete
Kind of
against
like
each
X
other.
Factor.
Yes,
that kind of
exactly.
vibe.
If X Factor met America's Next Top Model, exactly.
Do you remember
The overs.
Do you remember model behavior?
Modal.
Modal behavior.
No, what was model behavior?
And also, do you remember Make Me a Supermodel?
What was Make Me a Supermodel?
Well, model behavior, first of all, was years ago, the early 2000s, and it was these groups of models living in these like loft apartments by the Thames. These very early 2000s lofts that had been built
Right.
by the Thames.
Ooh, Make Me a Supermodel's looking very familiar to me.
Yeah, I think was that Elle Macpherson?
Hosted and judged by Rachel Hunter.
That's who it was, Rachel Hunter.
Presented by, oh my god. No, Rachel Hunter was the... Oh, it also says it was presented by... Oh, but the live final was hosted by Dave Berry and Tess Daly. And then Fern Cotton did it the next year.
Wow.
Oof, magoof. made by Tiger Aspect.
It sure
our
was.
Our old bosses.
Our old stomping ground. So I don't have too much more to say about Naomi Campbell. She did some acting in Empire, if you remember Empire. My question for you is, have you ever encountered Nam Cam?
No, I haven't actually. Was she at that awards thing that I worked at? I think she might have been at one of those, when my Kate Moss run-in that I had, working at the GQ Man of the Year Awards, where I also became mortal enemies with Sun journalist Dan Wootton. Became my mortal enemy for one summer especially. Him and I literally bumped into each other. No, I think she was at one of those GQ award things, but I never talked to her.
Got it.
I think I just saw her and kind of she's so beautiful that I just couldn't even look at her.
Yeah. I've never met her, but I worked weirdly she's got a charity called Fashion for Relief or something,
Right.
with these fashion shows, and I worked on one of them and helped out. It was very fun and very glamorous, and she was there. So obviously there's lots of other great things to say about her. I mean, she's assaulted, I think, 3 or 4 different people.
She's amazing. She had that amazing look where she went to do her community service. Where she wore
did.
that. Was it?
I think it was a Dolce.
Versace?
It was a Dolce & Gabbana. I think it cost £300,000.
Yeah.
The outfit that she wore, of course, famously as well, she was involved in the blood diamonds.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite quotes of Naomi Campbell, where she's just like, "I really just don't have time for this. Frankly, I'm annoyed because I shouldn't be here because I don't have the time for this." Just so good.
I looked into that blood diamonds case, and basically she was given these dirty looking diamonds, and then she gave them to charity, and then the charity held on to them because they thought they were suspicious, and then she got pulled into court over it. She had to go to The Hague. Anything else you want?
She's really lived a life, hasn't she? Naomi
She has,
Campbell?
and I feel like she's kind of back at her peak powers again.
Yeah.
She's really, really up there. I am intrigued by her financials. I am always a bit worried about them. I don't know why, because she's incredibly successful, but I just hope that she's had good advice and done clever things with her money, because I'm a bit scared.
Yeah. Oh, I never watched. I've got bookmarked this one for later on YouTube. I never watched the Vogue video of her going through her life and looks.
Oh, it's a lot of her Alaya was her father,
Yeah.
and her love for Gianni and stuff like that.
I can just see the subtitles in the YouTube link. This was Jasper Conran. All right.
So
say no more, Miss
it
Campbell.
Begs the question: who is the US equivalent of Naomi Campbell? And I've got an interesting take.
Is it Naomi Campbell? Honestly, I truly believe that it is.
It's Tyra Banks. And here's why. But here's what's interesting. Normally, the US equivalent is more successful and a bigger deal and higher up, but I think Naomi's way more successful than Tyra.
Well, they famously had a feud, didn't they?
Yeah.
And you remember do you remember the great interview of when she had Naomi Campbell on her show? And Tyra really clearly was like, I'm going to get the moment that I wanted. I'm going to break Naomi down and get her to apologize. And Tyra does this whole list of things that are grievances against Naomi Campbell. And she's like, well, do you remember that? And Naomi Campbell's like, oh, I don't actually remember that. And it just is it's just so good.
Yeah.
Such an exquisite put down of someone's trauma and lifelong memories of bullying.
Yeah, it's a real very classic American TV of we're really gonna put our hearts out there and just really open up, and Naomi's like, no,
you're not gonna get me,
and just completely keeps her cool. I think it's Tyra Banks. They obviously both had big modeling shows. I think they both transcend fashion, but Naomi's way more successful than Tyra. And way more prestigious than Tyra.
Oh, yeah. She's got a bigger prestigious name. However, Tyra does have a better song.
Oh, Tyra's song.
Can't figure out why y'all said it's over. The club's acting about to blow over. And the ratio's good enough for us. And I see one possibly for me. So come and tell me what's good with you.
Remember we covered that on our Dark Child episode?
Yeah. Now there is kind of beeping in that noise, beep, 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 beep. There's quite some to the beeping in my garage at the moment. So yeah, how do you feel about the US equivalent of Naomi Campbell being Tyra? With the caveat that Tyra is shitter and not as prestigious than our girl Naomi.
I'll take it, but I would like in the footnotes for it to be noted that I still kind of think the American equivalent is Naomi Campbell.
Okay.
Because she is one and all.
She has modeled for Victoria's Secrets over the years, Naomi Campbell, and they asked her.
She just has one singular secret.
And she said that they asked her, why were you never a full-time angel? And she said, they couldn't afford me.
Oh.
Anyway, so the US equivalent of Naomi Campbell is Tyra Banks, but she's not as good or successful.
And Naomi Campbell is the equivalent of herself because she's too famous and amazing.
Right, that's today's episode. Like
we're gonna go to the pool.
We are going to go to the pool. Like we said, we've got Drag Race UK. It's going to be coming at ya like Cleopatra every week.
Druk 6.
Druk 6. We need to meet the queens. We need to do MTQ this week. Meet the queens.
Druk 6 MTQ.
MTQ. You will get You a Prime every other week as per usual. Please rate and review us. Please rate and fucking review us, okay? Also get in touch on Instagram. You can call us on our hotline, call the pod on 612-699-2007, like the year.
Yep.
It is also on the Instagram. I've posted at the top. Anything else?
No other business.
Any other B? NAOB. Wait, and you earlier said that you didn't know the phrase, I've been NFI'd.
No. Not fucking invited.
Not fucking invited.
So yeah, and I wasn't invited, and we will be talking about that afterwards.
Okay. Freemasons uninvited. You're welcome.
Bye.
You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.